Well, hello everybody, I am Spegtacular, the Silver Stacular. Join me today as I'm in Coin Guy's shop in Spring Hill, Florida, as I speak with him about the ups and downs of the precious metals markets and other things that go on in the world that do affect the prices of precious metals. Now stay with me now as I speak with Coin Guy.
What's happening to silver and gold?
Tell me what's going on with this silver and gold stuff, because it came down quite a bit, scared some people.
Silver dropped like $3 in the last month. Gold down about 80 bucks. Recovered pretty good the last day or so. So it's back up to, it's getting back up there. It's getting ready to break back through 1800. I think it's just the pulse. It usually happens, the ups and downs. I think a lot of big people control a lot. We've talked about that before, where you have 40 years ago, when the Hunt brothers tried to corner the silver market, there were only a handful of people in the country who had $1 billion. Now you can't count how many there are. There's thousands.
Yeah.
And for every 1,000, there's another 800 who have it and don't brag about it. So you have too many hedge fund people, too many very wealthy, that can control gold and silver. And I think that's what it is. I think they've made the price drop, and they're stepping in. But in the long run, I just had a client call me from out of state, and they're looking to buy some silver. You get some of these states where they pay 9% in taxes to buy silver and gold. It's just insane. How many times are you going to resell that gold and silver, and you're going to have to pay tax on U.S. currency?
It's crazy.
But I think it's still a time to buy. This is what they call a buying opportunity. They tell you that in the stock market, when it drops, now's a buying opportunity.
So we got to buy the dip.
I think you buy the dip. I mean, when it comes in, I still put away gold and silver. I believe that.
For yourself?
Yeah, for myself.
Okay.
I mean, look what's happening in the world. We've talked about this before. It's getting scarier, just like we talked before. You have weaknesses, and the rest of the world is going to jump on us. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. It isn't about the flavor of ice cream anymore. It's about showing strength.
Yeah.
And eventually, I think there's going to be an explosion. I'm afraid there's going to be something serious happen in the world. And that's when gold and silver, and I'm not looking for it to go up that way, but it's inevitable. And then you look at inflation. Look what inflation is. Pizza place next door was $8.45 for a pie 3 weeks ago. It's $9.99 today.
Oh, it went up.
Wow. I mean, I talked to my accountant. He told me $150 for an hour, and I got a bill for $265.
Yeah.
I called about that, and I got a courtesy. I mean, give me a heads up.
Yeah, man.
I mean, wow. It's in everything you see now.
I think it's interesting that of course, you're the coin guy. You sell, rare coins, and that's what you do. Sometimes coins are made out of precious metals. So when people say like, oh, coin guy shouldn't be political, it's part of your job to be a little bit. I mean, you got to pay attention to those markets, and they move sometimes just by...
Politics will affect the price of gold and silver. Don't be a fool.
Right.
I mean, if I'm living in Afghanistan right now, I'm grabbing all my daughters over 12 years old and any gold I got, and I'm running for a border to get out of Dodge. I mean, let's not be crazy. You've got to do what you got to do to protect yourself, and politics affect the price of everything. They do. When you have weak government, you're going to have problems. Like I said, it's just a terrible thing. I don't want to see this, and I'm fearful. And a lot of people are fearful. I still get those phone calls. Those first-time buyers are still calling. And these are people who have assets. I mean, they have pensions. They own property. But it doesn't hurt to have a little bit in gold and silver. Like we've said before, you've been saving it for 5,000 years. There's got to be something to that. I see Bitcoin recovered a little bit. I still think that's the big boys looking out for their own backs and forcing the price up. I think it's all orchestrated. I don't trust any of that. I'm a more fundamental person, and I like the physicalness of gold and silver. As I said, I know I have a client who got burned pretty bad on Bitcoin. He bought a bunch, and then when he went to sell it, he ran into trouble getting rid of it. And then he got hoodwinked, and he lost 80% of his money.
Oh man.
I mean, he was very, very upset. And there's a lot of people over there that are willing to part you from your money. You got to be really careful about where to go with this stuff. I don't know what to have told him. You know, it was too late. You come to me afterwards. Nate would have got on the phone, you know, got on the machine, and we'd have looked around. I'm sure there's some way legitimate. Not that you lose 80% of your investment. That's a sin. And I can understand why you can't sleep.
What I found interesting about that Bitcoin, and something that also upset people about the U.S. Mint's website, is people are using bots. Have you heard of these things?
I've heard of bots.
Like a computer program that's purposely meant to do a job for a person, make their life easier, right? Well, these bots were buying and selling Bitcoin, you know, right when it came up, you know what I mean? They might sell it and then come down, now they're going to buy some. These little increments, and not just Bitcoin, a lot of different cryptos, there's bots for that, just to make a quick buck.
Yep, it's like the day traders.
Yes.
Day traders. I remember working on a house, God, I'm going back 25 years ago. I was with my brother-in-law and we were working in a backyard. He was putting tile in the whole backyard. And the guy was a retired director. And we worked there many days part-time. And there were big, you know, they were bringing over big Nico locks. And my son worked there when he was younger. They put the retaining walls up in Dix Hills on Long Island. And we're working there. In the middle of all this work, and there's half a dozen of us, and we were there multiple times. And I'm talking 50,000 bricks. It was a lot of work. And it was multi-days. He comes out, he was a day trader, and he says, I just paid for this whole thing in the last half hour.
Shoo.
Wow.
Wow, huh?
I mean, like, wow. I don't know what happened later on, but he was an older person at that time. And I said this was about 25 years ago. But there's the same people doing that now with Bitcoin. There's still day traders. There's people out there who play the game. There's probably day traders in this game in a way. I mean, there's times when I'll buy a lot of something and I'll get an offer from another wholesaler. And if it's reasonable and I have too much inventory, I'll push some off. That's the game. I understand that.
Yeah.
On that last group of paper money, we moved, all the sheets are gone. We sold all the sheets. We sold about half of the Confederate and the Broken Bank, and we still have some left if you want any of it.
I think I bought one of your last big sheets.
Yeah, you bought the one with the multi-years.
Yeah.
Multi-denomination one.
I like that. I went and got a nice frame for it. It looks nice.
Those canal ones from Louisiana, boy, they sold right away. Everybody jumped on them. I have a couple left, but there's individual pieces. But we still have some of that left. And we have plenty of silver still. And people are still buying. You know what I have discovered? And it's probably going to happen again now. You know what's happening with the communist China virus? You get people that are home and they're working with their children. And I think it's created people where they're buying foreign coins. They're doing history lessons with it. And I get people who call me and say, "Hey, I want my background is Swedish or wherever it may be, or Italian or German. Send me $200-300 worth." And then they do a history lesson, or they do the world with their grandchildren or their children, and they tie it into their history lesson. And I've seen an increase of penny collecting and coin collecting. I got more young kids in here in the last 18 months. I'm talking kids under 12 than I probably got in the last 12 years.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I got a couple of them that are really bounce off the walls. These 7 and 9-year-olds, and they're really smart.
They're excited.
A lot of them homeschooled. I'll give them that, but they're really smart. I mean, they bounce around and they know things, and they want to see this and they want to see that, and that's great. You know, I'm really glad to see that. That's really good, really good.
It's great for the hobby.
Absolutely, it's always good for
That's
the
cool.
hobby.
Those guys will be coin collectors for the rest of their lives.
I'm hoping.
Yeah.
I got a couple that told me they want to do this when they get bigger.
That's awesome.
And that's a 7-year-old, so I got room for him. I got a few more years before he becomes a competitor for me, I guess. You know, I hope I got a few more years.
You got plenty. Hey, with the gold and silver, right? So I think we've seen a jobs report come out where jobs are, coming back a little bit. Of course, because everybody was out of work for a while. Now anything is better than what there was. So I think we're going to see some, interesting things with metals because of that. You think that has some effect? We're going to see some more of that going on with the jobs?
Yes. Speaking of jobs, My son opened a restaurant yesterday. He calls me. He said the whole crew didn't show up.
Oh no.
Well, I'm telling you, I've seen it too many times. And I've seen other people in the business where you hire people and all of a sudden they're all coming, and nobody shows up. He opened up a store right on Kings Road in St. Augustine. It's called Gringo Taco. And his crew didn't show up. He was there, his wife's there, a couple of people from his from the vault were working there with him, with the cook he had there, who's the manager of the place. They're doing tacos, they do all that. We're gonna probably surprise him next week.
Right
just don't let him see this yet.
Okay.
And we're gonna probably go up there and see what he's doing. But and a lot of jobs are still laying there. I mean, especially in areas where you have, high traffic, a lot of people, and you got to pay some really good money.
Yeah.
I mean, and then you're still giving people $300 to sit at home.
Yeah.
Some people don't want to work.
You seen some of these hiring bonuses?
Oh, incredible, incredible amounts of money. I got another client of mine who owns a diner in the neighborhood. I mean, this is Florida. There's a different lifestyle here than LA and New York, but he's paying his cooks $18 an hour.
Right.
And he can't get help. He can't
Wow.
get decent help.
No.
$18 an hour.
Craziness.
Wow.
I remember the days when I made $7 an hour. What did you make when you first started?
I worked for A&S, and I got paid a lot of money then, $2.40 an hour. But
Whoa.
when I was working at Nathan's Hot Dogs, I got $2 an hour.
Nice.
Back in '73, I got $2 an hour. That's, plus I got to eat.
Wow.
That's a big deal for me.
Were you like, what is that, Joey Chestnut, where you just as many as you can get into you?
I used to eat 3 hot dogs, but I might have had a pastrami sandwich first.
See?
But I was 19 years old and 190 pounds and and every weekend I was out dancing. So, you burned it up. You just
Sure.
burned it up. But those were the days, and I enjoyed working. I still do. For you people in Pennsylvania, my brother's running for governor of Pennsylvania. Just to give you a heads up, you need a change over there. I've talked to a couple of people from there, and they said they can't wait. I think he has an outside chance of winning. You probably never heard of him. It's John Ventry. He's an author. He does films. He's a retired executive for UPS, but he wants to bring change, and he's got an outside chance. They said that in '67 with the Jets, in '69 with the Mets, in 1980 with the hockey team. You never know, another miracle. But that's my brother John. He's running for governor of Pennsylvania.
What's some of his key points, real quick? What's John all about?
John is about going back to government for the people. Yeah.
So common sense?
Yep. Here you go.
Okay. That's what we need, more common sense people.
He pays for his own campaign, uses his own money.
So now he's running as a socialist?
Yeah. No, he's not a
No way,
socialist.
right?
He's another Trump person.
Okay.
That's what you're looking at.
So Republican.
Act 77 cost Trump the election. Vote V for Ventry, V for victory.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's snazzy. I like it.
Winning resume. Yeah, that's my brother.
All right, well, if anybody's out there and they want to make some votes happen, they know now who to vote for. Very cool. Well, Guy, listen, I appreciate it. This is just a quickie. You got a customer in the store, so I'll let you go to business. But thank you very much for getting us this quick little video.
God bless America. Stay healthy, everybody. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.